All right, get in here, boys. We're tired. We just did NAMM for the first time. Woo! We're exhausted. It's been a wild 3 days. We're gonna be a year old as a pedal company as far as like when we started selling pedals next month. So getting to NAMM at the end of our first year just like capped off an amazing first year as a pedal company. Barton, how are you feeling? You started this thing, it's your pedal designs. Here we are at NAMM. How do you feel about the whole experience?
I'm feeling great. I mean, It's kind of a milestone for our company, and yeah, I don't know, kind of like a bucket list thing for me. It feels like it was like trying to get into this industry and do this thing, and for better or worse, here we are, and we're doing it.
We've all heard about NAMM for decades. Mm-hmm. I've never been, none of us have ever been. And it is wild. I mean, Peter, what stood out to you about being at NAMM?
I guess just how many different kinds of people there are in the music world, and like we are very much in pedal guitar land, but you go through the different halls at the convention center and there's like a bunch of drums, there's like a whole section of just like horns and like world instruments, and like there's too much to see.
My favorite part was meeting people. You know,
that's
like,
what it's all about.
Getting to meet these like content creators that we've worked with, other pedal makers that we admire, getting to meet people that we've never heard of before, see pedals we've never heard of before. I mean, I found some amazing pedals that I'm just like, I have to have these, you know? And like getting to meet Ryan from 60 Cycle Hum, who we've worked with but have never met. He's just like the best guy. Not just Ryan, but Brian too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Man, just like walking around the floor, the show floor, there's like all these random performances going on. I saw this like older woman dancing flamenco and it was gorgeous. People performing all over the place. It was so cool. Man, we got to meet some of our heroes too. Like you got to meet that pedal show.
Yeah, I know. I've been watching that show for years. I mean, that was one of the crazy things is just, it's a big community in some ways, but it's small in others. But I think the community of people who make pedals and guitar gear and people who are really into it and making content around it, it's tight-knit, but dispersed and remote. And so I think a lot of us, there's recognition, but you've only ever seen people on screens before.
Yeah.
And so it was just kind of constantly happening where you're just sort of like meeting people that you feel like you already know, or that maybe you actually have worked with for months or years. For some, in the case of many other people, we're still new. And it's just like, oh, that's what your flesh face looks like.
All right, ready for day two?
Let's do it.
NAMM was like, it is what I expected, but in some ways, like, it's the craziest music expo you could possibly go to. But the feeling of being there was something that I could not have predicted. You know, the ambient noise in the room is overwhelming.
Yeah.
The amount of people is overwhelming.
I'm surprised that I still have as much voice left as I do. It was like 3 days of yelling.
Yeah, totally.
Mount Saint, hello. Mount Saint,
There were some characters. It's the most top hats I've ever seen worn by people in one space.
Yeah.
Easily.
Like the wildest hairdos and like all these, you know, rock star looking people. And like just...
And real rock stars.
Real rock stars,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
random famous people wandering around. Like Jamie from Super Cool was able to give one of his pedals to Jack White, which was super exciting. I love going to trade shows. It's so fun. And then like a lot of the pedal people will exchange pedals at the end of the day. And then we all get to go home and try each other's stuff. That's one of the best parts. You know,
Yeah.
that's so exciting. A huge thank you to Paulo, Delicious Audio.
Yeah.
He puts together this giant stomp box booth, and every half a table is a different company, and it's all of us like small builders, boutique builders. And I actually like legitimately feel like that was one of the coolest tables at all of NAMM because it was the densest new stuff to try. If you're into guitar pedals, I think it might be the single biggest, coolest place to try guitar pedals.
Yeah.
That booth that we were a part of.
Yeah, in
And-
terms of just
yeah.
like the amount of creativity per square foot.
You can just plug in and play around and learn about them from the people who made them. And it's just awesome. Really appreciate being a part of it.